Welcome to Tech Talk Tuesday, brought to you by Idaho Public Television and Montana PBS.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Tech Talk Tuesday. We are going to be talking about end of the year ideas as we head into the final months of the school year. I'm Nikki Vredenberg, and I'm the Director of Education at Montana PBS, and I'll let my colleague introduce herself.
Hi, thanks for coming today. I'm Carrie Wardle. I'm the Education Manager at Idaho Public Television. So Nikki and I have similar roles at our respective stations. I'm excited to share some of our fun end of the year activities with you.
Yeah, Carrie and I both come from teaching backgrounds, and so a lot of the things we're going to show you are from our classrooms back when we were teaching. I think has it been 4 years now since we've been in the classroom?
It has.
Yeah, these are oldies but goodies.
That's right. Some things are timeless.
And then we'll share the resources that PBS has to offer teachers and families as they get ready for summer. So we're going to talk about 3 topics this year: digital memory books, having the class write advice for the next year's class, and then we're going to share some summer learning resources. And I'm going to pause recording because I'm being interrupted. So one of the ideas we wanted to share with you was the idea of making a digital memory book using Google Slides or Google Drawings. And these are actually, I've seen examples of these happen from lots of different classrooms. And this was something I even did with my own classroom. And I'm going to give you an example of how I did this. In one of my classrooms, I had an end of the year celebration when I taught kindergarten and first grade. And it was, we did a little graduation ceremony at the end of the year. And I always displayed a slideshow with reflections and shared that, and parents were invited, and the rest of the school was invited. And so the reflections for first graders was I had them tell me the best part about first grade and what they were looking forward to in second grade. And then I put it together on a slide. And these pictures, I covered them up just to protect these kiddos, but this was the first day of school picture that I remembered to take when the school year started. Some years were better than others on that one. And then this was a picture taken at the very end of the school year. That always got a nice response from parents, because to really see that side-by-side comparison of just how they grow and change during the school year. Now, my first graders this year dictated to me what their sentence said, or they wrote it on a piece of paper and I went and typed it in. But my kindergartners did that. My first graders did type in their responses, but my kindergartners, they dictated to me or wrote it down on paper and I typed it in. And we would go through all of these. And then I often shared the link to these slides with their families so they would have them for later. I've since saved these, and when these kids, some of these kids are going through 8th grade graduation this year, and I've shared this slideshow with the teacher who oversees that, and they'll be using some of these in that 8th grade ceremony as well. So looking back to their first year at the school. So one of the fun things we can do at smaller schools for sure. Back to my slides here. Now, the other option I've seen with this is to have a collaborative slide deck where every kid has their own slide in the Google slide deck, and they're challenged to decorate their slide, reflecting on the school year, sharing things that that they learned, or thinking forward to what they're looking forward to in the next year ahead, and using as little text as possible, using mostly images to describe their school year. And kids have a lot of fun visually representing what they've learned. I've also seen it where this is a shared book where the kids have a slide that's theirs and just has their picture. And then each class member goes and types in text on that child's slide, usually a compliment or something they like about that child, or a memory that they have. And so when you display the slide deck, it has a child's picture in the middle, and then there's all these text boxes surrounding the picture with those compliments. My daughter's teacher did one last year with Google Drawings, where she, at the end of, I think it was the last few weeks of school, every day she had a student of the day, and she did something like that using Google Drawing. Child's picture was in the middle. Everybody collaborated over that one drawing and typed in nice things about that child. And then she shared the link with them. And so they had that as a memory. So another nice option for a digital memory book. And anything on Google Slides and Google Drawing could be printed too. So those things could be printed and taken home to have the hard copies as well. So some nice ideas for digital memory books. I'm going to let Carrie talk about an activity she did with her students.
Yeah, and I really feel like Google Drawing is sort of the hidden gem that we don't use very often. It's sort of under that other, you have to arrow down to get more, but it's really kind of a blank canvas and sometimes a little bit more easy to manipulate than a slide deck. And you can then save it as a PowerPoint or as a slide presentation. So anyway, I love Google Drawing. So one of my sort of favorite things that I always did, so I taught older kids, I taught 5th grade, and one of my favorite things every year was doing how to survive 5th grade is what we would call them. And it started, back in the lower tech era as being a booklet. And so the kids would create a book that they had to draw on. And I started out making them choose something for every letter of the alphabet. And it would be advice for students next year on how to survive 5th grade. And the things that they came up with, were amazing. The D was almost always Diet Pepsi, and it was to bring me Diet Pepsi because that's what I drink. And so anyway, so we would spend the last, month or so of school, in their free time. And sometimes I would give them dedicated time and allow them to work on those. And then the following year, I would put those on the desks of the students the first day of school, and then they could come in and as we were getting used to or getting, ready and things, they could read those books. And then I would have them switch around. That was how I started it. And so that was one of my favorite projects. And then when I became, because I started teaching 15 years ago. So as things got more techy, we morphed that into videos. And my last year, and I don't have access to them anymore because it was a school thing, but we used Flipgrid. And the kids created a Flipgrid video for the incoming kids, and just had fun little, like, hey, here's some fun tips for you. And some of it was tips about how not to make me mad. Some of it was tips about it was way fun. And the things that they would come up with were so awesome. And then the first day of school, the kids, that was my way to really, we started off with tech the first day of school, and I'd have Chromebooks, and they'd get them out, and we'd get right into Flipgrid the first day of school, and they would be able to watch the video. I liked that a lot better because obviously they could watch multiple videos, and they could, it wasn't as time consuming as reading a book with, pictures and words, but it was fun for them to be able to see the kids. And so they would see them on the playground and be like, hey, I watched your video, so that was fun. So that is a fun project you can do. Like I said, we used Flipgrid, but I could also see that being a really cool project to do with Padlet, because kids could insert drawings and images as well from, ways to be successful and things like that. So, they obviously can write a letter to the student the following year. I've heard of teachers that have done that, where they write them a letter. But I think my video was my favorite. My last couple of years of teaching was having the kids create a video for the kids coming up, and just really then saving them for the next year and letting the kids watch them. And it was a fun way to, because you'd hear little giggles, and it was a fun way to kind of break the ice and get kids, a little bit comfortable with with what to do, and especially because they could hear from their peers and, you know, kids kind of their age and that had been in their place. So letters for next year is a fun thing, and that was what we always did after. In Idaho, it's the state testing is the ISAT, and so that was kind of our ISAT, you know, activity was, let's spend some time really being thoughtful and thinking about what we could give kids. And I would let them be silly, but I also told them they had to give them some, you know, some solid advice for them to be successful in 5th grade. And so anyway, that was a fun post ISAT activity for us to do with our kiddos.
So the next thing that we wanted to share was some summer learning resources that PBS Learning Media has available for teachers. And we come to this in a couple of different places. I mean, I always had parents come to me wanting some resources they could explore with kids over the summer, just to kind of keep that academic mindset in place, and to give them a little bit of practice or enrichment or whatever there was. I've also known teachers who are teaching summer school in the summer and have been put in charge of planning what that looks like, and we're really hungry for resources. I also know teachers that are hosting summer camps to make some extra money, and are hosting those things and are looking for resources. So we put together some things that we hope would be useful for any of those options. And so the first one is the Summer Learning Collection on PBS Learning Media. And just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to stop sharing and just go to PBS Learning Media and show you how you can find these resources on PBS Learning Media. So you start by going to pbslearningmedia.org. It'll connect you to your home station. I'm in Montana, so it automatically connects me to Montana PBS. Idaho, it will be with Idaho Public Television. In this topic box right here, if you type the words summer learning, you will find the first 3 collections that we have on the slide. And that's why I chose them. So the first one is this collection, Summer Learning. And this was compiled quite a few years ago. And what I like about this is that we've got all topics can be expanded. If you're looking for virtual tours, it'll take you to some things that you can do with middle school and high school in the topic of virtual tours. I really like this one that our PBS digital innovator, Sarah Dahl, created. That's a digital gallery walk of some of the Indigenous experiences from Unladylike. And this is brand new, just created this year. So they have done a nice job of updating this collection. If you are interested in social and emotional learning, which is a really hot topic right now for teachers and students, we can go into some middle school things to talk about social emotional learning, as well as some high school things. So this is a nice collection for our upper grade friends. I'm going to go back to that topic search of summer learning up here, and then scroll down to the next collection, which is this one called Camp TV. And this was created by a station, started last year, and this was a broadcast television show meant to provide students with learning experiences in kind of a day camp. Last summer, when day camps really weren't happening in a lot of communities, this was sort of the virtual broadcast day camp experience. And so you'll see they've got it separated by episodes. Episode 1 is Crazy Hat Day. These are the lessons that go along with the episode, and then some videos and website things that can go along with it, as well as some other things from the site. So an opportunity to give kids a structured learning experience online while they're at school. And then the last one, I believe, is this one, The Science of Summer. And this is another one that's good for older kids. And it's just got some fun topics, some fun videos that are things that you might explore and think about while you're outside playing in the summer. So look at sand, looking through a microscope, thinking about balls and playing sports. If you're going to ride on a roller coaster, lightning bugs and fireflies, kind of talking about any of those topics. So just another way to take what's happening in the season that we're in and extend the learning with some video resources. Each resource is a video, and come over here and they have a document and some activities that go along with it. And then as always, these are aligned to your state and your national standards. So you can, if you're in summer school and you're teaching or working in the summer school program, you can feel good about the content that you're giving to kids from that site. So those are those three. I want to make sure those are the three I put on there. Yep, Camp TV, Summer Science. I'll let Carrie, did you want to share and walk through those other things?
Oh, sure. I'm just, yeah. So the first thing on there is Classroom Idaho Boot Camp. And so this is a local to Idaho thing that we're doing. And so we are going to actually air the Camp TV episodes. There's 2 seasons. We're excited about that. It's going to kind of be like, join Idaho PTV for summer camp. And the cool thing about all of those, as Nikki stated, is that they all have teaching resources to go along with them, lesson plans and things like that. And then we are doing a 5-week boot camp is what it's called, which is local Idaho teachers who produce lessons for us on Zoom. And it really is content that, here's what a kindergartner should have learned. And so we're going to review all of that stuff so that they're ready for 1st grade. And so that's happening. Tune in June and July on the Idaho PTV Create channel. So look for that. And then I'm excited to share with you guys some fun apps. So I'm going to share from my iPad. So give me just a second to pull that up. I'm going to show you some fun apps that also are summer apps. So the first one is Nature Cat's Great Outdoors. And let's see here. So you can see the 3rd row down there. You can see the little Nature Cat app. And I'm going to open that up. I don't know why it does that. Okay, here we go. Give it a minute. Here comes Nature Cat. The cool thing about this app, and that I love about actually all these apps that I'm going to share with you, is that it encourages kids to get outside, actually. And so it's a really good mix of tech with going outside and doing things. And apparently, this is always how life works, right? My internet is maybe slow because this seems to be freezing I'm hoping it's loading soon. And if not, we'll go to a different app because it seems to just be saying loading. The cool thing about this is that, okay, let me try this. Oh, well, look at all these apps I have open. Maybe that's part of the problem. Let me try this again one last time. And if it doesn't load, we'll move on. The cool thing about this app is that there is a daily mission. And so every day kids can log in or get in, and there's a different mission for them to do each day. Well, okay. So I'm not going to show you this because I can't seem to get it to pull up. I hope that this is not a sign and that the other ones are going to work. The cool thing is that there is a daily mission for outside. There's also like an indoor daily mission. So if it happens to be raining and the kids can't go, maybe can't go outside, there's a mission for them to do indoors. It usually involves some sort of like taking a picture of something. And so getting outside and taking that picture. I'm going to move on to the next one, but check it out. It's called Nature Cat's Great Outdoors. And if you search for it on your app store, you'll be able to find it. And it just is a fun app. Kids can take pictures. Also, there's a camera where they can take pictures and put the Nature Cat characters in there. So they could take a picture. It could look like they're taking a picture of the Nature Cat in their backyard or the characters from Nature Cat. So I love that app. The other one that is a really cool app as well is called Play and Learn. Now, there's Play and Learn Science, and then there's also just Play and Learn, those two apps, which are really kind of awesome. One of the things that, and again, this is a really great one to recommend to parents, not that you can't use it as a teacher, but again, same as Nikki, I always had parents asking me what they could help their kid with over the summer. And we know from that studies have shown that parents are a little less comfortable with science types of things, right? They're a little less comfortable talking to their kids about that. So Play and Learn Science is a pretty awesome app, and yay, I think it's actually going to work. I should like not speak too soon. Okay, whew. I have it in Spanish. My son likes to change everything. He doesn't speak Spanish. Can I just point that out? But he likes to change everything to Spanish. But the cool thing is, if you are a Spanish speaker, you have Spanish speaking kids and families, you can see that it's easy to just toggle between English and Spanish. So this has a lot of really cool things. Now you can already see water wall, thirsty doggy, sink or float, right? These are all water activities that the kids can do. And then there's photo weather. I'm not going to do all these, but you can see that these are, again, getting them outside. Go take a picture of the different kinds of weather in the summer. And then Gearing Up talks about what kind of clothing do we wear in the different seasons, right? So let's just look at the amazing umbrella. Ooh. And
choose materials to build an umbrella that will protect
she's going to
her
build
from
an
the rain.
umbrella.
Tap on
and you get to choose the materials. So there's a ton of games in this. You can see I'm still going here as I keep scrolling through. Okay, there, we're done. There's also a parents section, which is yet another thing that I really love, because again, like we sometimes parents aren't always comfortable doing this stuff with their child, and so there's some tips for parents, and this is what it'll help your kids, what the goals are of this app, and then there's tips, and there's tips for each specific thing that they can play. So for picture perfect weather, here's even questions that the parents can ask. And so obviously teachers could ask this as well, but I love this different activities or different ideas. And then there are real world applications of the same thing. So ways that they can do that. And then there's always these activities. So again, let's go outside, play the game before you go, and then take your kids and go do those things. So I think that this is an amazing resource for parents and for kids. And the cool thing about PBS is that they're very deliberate about parents and kids watching and playing together. And so this allows them to be able to do that. So Play and Learn Science. Check it out if you haven't already. There's fun stickers, kids can decorate a picture and all that fun stuff too. But again, like I said, one of the things I love about this is that it encourages the kids to get outside. So it isn't just sitting staring at a screen, which we know happens a lot in the summer, right? But it is stare at a screen and then let's go outside and kind of extend that learning beyond. So that one's Play and Learn Science. And the final one that I really love, which I think is yet another hidden gem that people just, I don't think know about. This one is called Outdoor Family Fun with Plum. So PBS has a website called Plum Landing, which is a landmine of science, a gold mine, not a landmine, sorry, a gold mine. It's not a landmine, you guys, a gold mine of science activities, and I'm going to show you some of those, but it says family fun here, and this is another one that, sorry, wow, loud, and no matter how much I turn it down, it's not working. Okay, so this is another one that is to encourage kids to go out. So you go in here. Again, there is a daily mission. And so I love that because then the kids are excited to open it up and see what the mission is for today. So if I click on the daily mission, there's actually, you'll see that there's actually 5 things that the kids can do today. So zoom in, so they're taking pictures of things up close and then play a guessing game. There is find somewhere to go count the cars. And again, these are just really simple activities because they're designed for kind of younger kids, but they're fun things for kids to do. And the cool thing about this is if you click on do it, there's a little counter for the kids. So as they go by, you can count the cars and the kids can keep track of that as they go. You can save your progress. So if you do, maybe you start it in the morning and then you're going to go out and do another activity and you want to keep counting cars, like you can do this throughout the day. It saves it as you go. Anyway, there are 5 different activities that kids can do for this. Go to the park, find as many groups of animals as you can. And there's usually, again, here's a counter. There's one where, this one, so you can see that there's a place where you can take pictures and it'll save those pictures right in here. You'll see the thumbnails at the bottom. And so this is probably one of my favorite apps. The cool thing is then all the in progress ones are here, but also you can go to all missions and you can take a look at everything. And so if you have already done the daily ones and you want to do some more, you can go in and keep doing it. And it shows you right here which ones are in progress, which ones you've already done and finished. You can see the squirrel tally one there has a check mark by it. And you can access any of the ones that you want from here, because like some of them, one of them was like go outside on a cloudy day. Well, maybe today isn't a cloudy day, but 3 days from now will be. You could pull that up and do it again here. So this is another one that I think is such a great thing to get your kids, get your family, go outside and do these missions every day. And this is one that with my kiddo this year, like this is gonna be our thing. Before you get to have any kind of like mindlessly stare at YouTube screen time, we're gonna do these missions, and I want to see that they're done before we can do any of that, because these are educational things. And I want to show you, I'm going to stop sharing this screen because there's a website for Plum Landing as well. And so for teachers, there is parents as well, but for teachers who, like Nikki said, might be doing summer camp or, whatever. I wanted to show you, I'm like super high tech over here, you guys, and I am doing the multiple devices here. So Nikki, can you see Plum Landing? Okay, so I love this website. And there is a place that you can go here, you can see for parents and for educators. So educators, if you click on the educators tab, wow, you guys, my internet could not be slower today. Okay, here we go. Cool. It's actually going to come. If you click on the educators tab, you'll find you'll find camp resources already built for you. I love technology, you guys, because in the moment, like I have had 0 internet issues all day long, and now here I am. Okay, so you can see that there's lead activities with kids. There's family activities, so if you're doing those things, and then of course videos and games, and then there's tips for educators. But the lead activities with kids, I'm a little bit nervous to click on this link. Oh yay, look at that, it was fast. There's after school programs, there's club programs, and there's camp. So if you click on the camp, what you see with these is that these are 5 consecutive lessons, so it's designed to be a week-long camp around the same theme. And so this one is like ecosystems, right? So here's day 1 and all the way through day 5. And it has each of the activities that you do on all 5 of those days. And you'll notice that when I went back there was 5 different things. So there are 5 weeks worth of camp activities here. And the camp ones are designed to be longer activities so that they take, you know, because camp is often half a day or a couple of hours. And so anyway, there's these 3 different activities that you can do on this one day, and you can go day by day for these activities. So I love those. And then the club ones are similar, but they're shorter activities. So they won't take, they may not take quite as long, but again, 5 days worth, all centered around the same theme. And then the after school program are just standalone individual activities that you could do if you had kids, you know, for an hour or whatever. So check those out. I love them. And then this is a great resource you can also share with parents, because there's a parent tab that has very similar, here's some do a science activities, earn a badge, there's materials in Spanish. There's just a variety of resources for parents as well. And this is a fun website to explore and play with anyway, so this is a good one to send with kids. And again, that's Plum Landing. So we have it's linked in the notes of the slide deck, but also just if you Google Plum Landing, it takes you right here with PBS. It's pbskids.org/Plum Landing is the website. But and they have a similar thing here where, you know, these activities change usually pretty on a regular basis. And so if you keep coming back here, you'll find different activities. And then there's some other apps. In addition to the outdoor family fun, there's some other Plum apps too that are really cool. So those are the fun activities. I'm going to stop sharing here, but those are some fun resources for teachers, for families, for kids that you can do with PBS. And all this stuff, of course, the apps are free to download. And so, you know, there's no cost to you to do that. So if you're looking for resources for summer camps, these are really great ones to use.
And reach out to Carrie and I if we can help you find anything. There's probably a lot more than we shared during this little session. And we'd be more than happy to find the tool that gets you exactly what you're looking for. So that is it for Tech Talk Tuesday. This was our final episode for this school year. We like to let teachers have May to just wrap up the school year and get things finished. And we'll be back in the fall, and we'll have some teachers with us and continue to talk about how to use tech in meaningful ways in the classroom. So signing off.
Bye.